set my heart. Yeah. Right? That's very emotional. And by the way, our topic today is precisely the same thing with what we encounter this day. Okay? It's the problem of suffering. Why do people suffer? Why is there I do not pretend to know all the answer, by the way. But at least, and I don't know why evil exists, by the way, honestly. I don't know. And I don't know why suffering exists. But at least, that's the Christian worldview, at least keep the hope. That's what we're trying to discuss. You see what I'm saying? I will not pretend that evil exists because of this and that, or suffering exists because of this and that. But at least does this Christian worldview, or does the Bible at least give a glimpse of hope, a glimpse of meaning through suffering? Every worldview talk about suffering. Buddhism talk about suffering a lot too. But what does Buddhism or Muslim or any sort of Hinduism
Testing.
So as our topic is the problem of suffering. The question was posed that if we claim that God is all powerful, God is all loving, God is all good, why is there suffering in this world? You see what I'm saying? The premise is that if you claim that omni attributes, for example, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, omniscient, all powerful, all good, all loving, you have that quality. But how can evil exist in that state? You see what I'm saying? So in the year 2019, 20 hours in
The video camera seems that way. Does it really capture this way? Oh, okay. I thought it just captured Chung Hai in this area. Okay. It's audible now? Audible? Okay. Okay, so what's our topic today? If God is good, why does He allow suffering? Is that? To seminar, for example. So if there's a condition, you see what I'm saying? So there's a conditional that if God is good. You see the assumption right now? You see the assumption here? If, if the condition, if God is good, where the heck is the evil come from? That's what exactly why there's suffering. Why suffering? Okay. Now, as I say, I was a missionary in India. Pretty rough time, but also it's a blessing during my time as a missionary. It's kind of hard to also talk about that because it's all related with the problem of suffering. Okay, but it might be helping at least for you guys. Well, starting from my soccer, I broke my right leg. I think I mentioned to you guys. I broke my right leg. And because that's my childhood dreams and childhood desire that I want to be a soccer player, professional soccer player. But unfortunately, I broke my right leg and I could not pursue to become a soccer player anymore. And in that sense, I have questioned a lot about God. And I questioned to even my mom, where is God in the midst of my needs? Because I really need that if I got healed, I can play soccer. And the thing is that I have only 3 weeks left by the time. If I did not play, I could not get selected in that academy. That academy is one of the best academy in India. It's called Tata Football Academy. But unfortunately, because I broke my right leg, I could not pursue that anymore. And I asked a lot of questions for about 2 years to God. Lord, I really desire to become a soccer player. That's my childhood whim and desire, and I want to fulfill that. And I thought that's your desire for me too. But unfortunately, in the year 2013, December, right before my final trial, which means to play soccer, the final trial to get selected at the academy, I broke my right leg. The question is, I asked about two to three questions. Lord, if you claim that you are the way, the truth, and the life, and if you claim to be a good God, why do you allow your son to suffer? The suffering is, I broke my right leg. That's not necessarily the suffering, by the way, in that way. It's a pain. But the more suffering part is that when I broke my right leg, I could not pursue the soccer anymore. You see the suffering part now? Not just the moment that I broke my leg. Not just because it is not healed. But because of that, I could not pursue the other one anymore. You see what I'm saying? That's the really heartbroken. It tells them that's the heartbrokenness. And finally, long story short, I question a lot about God, His goodness, His attributes, His character. But interestingly and profoundly, after 2 years, God speaks to me in a very vivid way. And one day I was reading this verse, and I never encountered that verse in a how do I put these words in a deep, profound way. That is Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My helps come from the Lord who created the heaven and the earth. And also Apostle Paul said that. My grace is sufficient for you. In the midst of suffering, God told me that, Mang, my grace is sufficient for you. And when I encountered those verses from God directly, through His Word, there's no way to resist anymore. And I give my life to Jesus one more time for the kingdom of God. And I say to God, Lord, I'm not going to play soccer anymore. But I will continue. No, not continue, but I give my life newly, freshly, to be part of the ambassador for you, an extension of the kingdom. That's how I give my life to Jesus. And then the other temptation, there's two great temptations, by the way, friends. One of our senior in my previous academy, he's even playing Indian national team right now. Pretty tall guy, 6'2". I'm somewhere around 6 or 5'11", somewhere. So he's pretty much taller than me. And what happened is that oh, it's fine. Okay. So what happened is that my senior played as an Indian team, and I was in the middle of seeing. Can I sit here? So I'm here. I'm this and watching his game in my house. And I did not knew that he's playing there. And when I say that when I saw that my senior is playing the soccer, I was in tears. Because I asked God, Lord, if I did not broke my right leg 2 years ago, my senior play now, I think I will also be there. Even though if I did not play, at least a substitute, At least a substitute is a good thing, right? Now, when we were young, there are some people, substitute captain, Paul, are you a substitute captain? Forever substitute captain. I don't think that's a really good thing, right? All the time. But my point is that my senior is playing there, and I couldn't join That's the hard part. I was in tears, and I asked, and I complained to God. Okay, remember, by that time I already surrendered my life to Jesus for the kingdom of God. I met Jesus in 2007 August, but long way after that, as I desired to play soccer, I never give my life to be part of as a missionary or as a teacher to preach the gospel. But after I broke my right leg, and after 2 years, I give my life to Jesus. But this moment is way after I surrender my life to Jesus. And the other temptation is that after I met my senior through TV, as I complained to God, where are you? And the next one is that I was in university doing my master. And then what happened is that one day I went to the stadium. Have you ever been to stadium here? Anyone? Stadium? Okay. So I went to the stadium, and thousands, maybe around 30,000 people are there. A lot of people. And I was watching there. And a friend of mine, it's really heartbroken. And a friend of mine is playing that. When I want to watch the match, a friend of mine was playing. His name is S. Howkip, something like that. And then I was in tears. I was with my friend because he invited to go to watch the match, and I was in tears, and I prayed to God, and I complained again, Lord, where are you? If I did not broke my right leg 3 years ago, I think for sure my friend is playing right now. I think I will also play. I was in tears. And the way God speaks to me is really interesting. Now I will sound very hyper Pentecostal now, you know. But you gotta listen attentively. By that moment, something behind me, I don't know, I don't even see anyone here. But something behind me it's something like an audible voice, but it's really clear in my conscience that, Mang, although you did not play today, soccer field, but one day you'll be standing in the middle of the soccer field, and you'll not play soccer, but you rather preach the gospel to thousands and thousands of people. That's how God speak to me that time. And from that time onward, no stone unturned. I never desired to be soccer, never desired to play soccer anymore. Of course, we can play, you know, maybe next week, something like that. I'm saying this as a professional anymore, right? See, Philip, we'll play next week. You want to do that? Soccer? Okay, yeah, turf, small one. Let's do that. But my point is that I never desired to play soccer anymore because I encountered God in a very vivid way. Amen? So that's for me, the problem of suffering is very personal. And the other one, as I said yesterday, us encountering Jesus, my grandpa encountering Jesus, what happened? Lead us to suffering. 5 years of famine. The reason why I'm interested in suffering is not surprising. It started because my grandpa is an enemy priest. And when he encountered Jesus Christ, the evil spirit spoke to his dream. And if you do not return to your old job, I will curse your family for 5 years of famine. And in that sense, what happened? Suffering happened. Although all the other villagers have food, have vegetable, we never harvest that. Friends, listen, my family is not that lazy. They work every day. It's just the curse happened. You see what I'm saying? And suffering occurs again. So to me, suffering is not surprising. It is always in us. And I got COVID again, a lot of suffering. And Mission Field, by the way, it's recorded, but I'll just share it for the glory of God. I went as a missionary teacher. When I first arrived, the 8th and the 9th grade protests in the school. And they vandalize, you know what I mean? Vandalize, destroy all the chairs and all the table. They are students, by the way, friends. They are students. They vandalize all the chairs and table, and even all the staff room, where the teacher are there. They just destroy it. And they say that new teacher go back, because I'm a new teacher. They just say to me, a new teacher go back. That's whom you love. That's part of the desires of the heart. Okay, Liambo, you want to try? What's the desires of the heart? What do you think? What's the concept of the desires of the heart in your mind? What do you think?
Happiness.
Happiness. In what sense?
Like, just being able to be happy with what I have.
Okay. I see. That's pretty close. Tung nang na genom na. Pasyanin ba ay pawa. Delight in yourself in the Lord. Pasyanin nalung sim nalung tang de zong peding hi. Lung tang nalung sim de zong bang ay dia le tulay tak namu na da. Na de pen nalung sim na de pen bang itam. Jine ding belo ma de. What do you think? What do you think? What would be the desires of the heart? Maybe, yeah, something like that. Okay, Paul, nang gena le. Huh? Clothes. Clothes is the desires of your heart.
Like, isn't it what you want? Like,
No, I'm not shaming you. So you really think that one of the desires of the heart is clothes?
yeah.
Okay, good job. Sangpi. Money?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Have a lot of money.
And then?
Buy whatever we want.
Okay. Mga lalong. What do you think the shampoo?
Comfort.
Comfort? You wanna narrow it down more precise?
Like happiness, like
But what brings you happiness to you personally? At least, yeah. What are those things?
like
Happiness bring like this.
like people around you.
Okay. Cool. Ooh. Okay, Long No. What do you think? The desires of the heart.
Comfort, but in a sense of like, like the people around me having family, but also being able to help others.
Okay, cool. That's pretty close. Sing. What is the desires of your heart, buddy? To cut all your hair? Kai, where? Come fast, okay? Because I don't know.
My own bank account.
Yeah, more bank account. Okay, Chingno, what do you think the desires of your heart is? What do you think? Money. Okay. Jacob, one more. Money. Okay, cool. No problem. That's fine. I'm not shaming anyone. It's good to have money because if not, we'll not survive, right? So the desires of the hearts, at least the definition will be something like this. By the way, this is, everyone can define however they want, but at least it seems to me that it captures really well. What's the definition of the desires of the heart? The desires of the heart is what we most cares about. You see what I'm saying? What is the desires of the heart? It is something like what you most cares about. It tells you again. Whatever you put at the top of the hierarchy of their values. You see what I'm saying? Siampu tells you again. What we most care about, Ben. So in that sense, you try to relate it suffering to. Or maybe the other definition will be something like a personal commitment to something. It tells you again. You have a personal project. You know the definition of project? You understand project, right? For sure. Don't think project only the student project, but you might have a project to get married. You might have a project to become rich. You might have a project to write book. It tells you, and you might have a project to what? Buy a car or something like that. This thing in terms of your personal commitment that you give all your heart Mateo siya muna kaganda. So what is the desires of the heart? The things that one we most cares about. And you may ask, say among this and that. But whatever you think it, there's a hierarchy of the things that you cares. So the desires of the heart is at least the things at the top, the top of the desires of the heart. Now, what is suffering? According to Eleanor Stump, when we fails to achieve the
this is the topic that we should discuss and understand really well more. And as I say, I'm not the best guy to give all the answer, but at least we discuss together more. So, what is suffering? Philip, suffering happens or occurs when we fail to achieve the desires of the heart. Tell siam tanah again. Everyone, Sampi, tell siam na. Everyone, young boy, tell siam now. What is suffering? Suffering occurs when we fail to achieve the desires of the heart or flourish. Let's say bahang kena sa bolong suina. What happened? Is suffering occurred because I broke my right leg? To some degree. But the other one is deeper. What is the deeper one? Because I failed to achieve what's my desires of my heart? To be a professional player. And when I failed to achieve that desires of the heart, what happened? Suffering occurs. Details siam tanak again. So that's how suffering occurs. Okay? Are we good thus far? At least the definition of the desires of the heart. Okay. Then let's distinguish between okay, let's do this way. Okay, everybody here, look at me now. Do you think suffering and pain is the same thing?
No, okay. So you wanna try, Siam? Simple. What is suffering and what is pain? No, it's fine, man, buddy. Come on, you're Siam, right? Yes, here, Simple. Siam. What do you think suffering is and pain is? I mean, you can give an illustration, or you can just try it. No stupid answer or wrong answer. What do you think the distinction? To me, not all pain can be equated with suffering. I also agree that, but I want to hear your distinction first.
Suffering is more like when you don't have anything to eat, like you're starving. But pain is more like how do I say, like physical pain or like
mental pain.
Yeah, that too.
Then where's the distinction then?
Like
You don't know.
Pain can be like healed, but like suffering can't just be
Just heal randomly.
Yeah.
You can't, right? You can.
Yeah.
I see. Anyone want to try? Yeah, boy, you want to try?
Okay, sure. I think pain is more short term.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of like an actual thing rather than suffering is more something that's long or something that's more significant.
I see. More significant. Okay. What the word significant? Okay, guys, try to remember significant. Okay? Suffering is more significant. Philip, you want to try the difference between?
No.
Why? Dang. That's a good answer, by the way. Okay. Nang Min Bang. Forgot. Sang, you want to try? Body girl. Okay, do you want to try the difference between suffering and pain? No. Who else want to? Sang Pi, you want to try? What do you think? At least, you gotta give a shot, man.
I like they said like pain can be healed in like a short time.
I see.
Suffering is like
More
than
significant, you are just taking somebody else. Who knows? You want to try?
Same too.
Same?
But I think with like suffering, it affects, like they say, like it affects everything else that you had in your, like all, like what you care about most.
Yeah.
So, like for you, your pain was your like feet being broken.
Yeah, but the suffering
what long term where you didn't get to have your career goals.
Cool, that's a good illustration. Come on. Round of applause. Good job. Pasal tak na ini sih. to pop ngay ngay chứ. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I mean, she got it right, honestly. I mean, everyone very got it right. But I'm just saying she got a little bit deeper, you know, I'll say. And Leon Boy say use the word significant, that's really important. Okay, if I give you illustration, you understand more better. Now, my case is that my desires of the heart is wanted to become a soccer player. But now, let's distinguish between pain and suffering here. Who want to become a soccer player right now? Hey, Ronaldo. Wait, no, Min Bang, sorry. Michael and then Piang Piang. Okay, Michael and Piang Piang. When do you think you're gonna play soccer? This coming weeks or days?
When I get older.
No. Future in the coming days. Match na na. Do you have any match coming soon? Very very soon. Not really. Second May.
Yeah, probably like me.
Oh, that's really far. Okay, let's say, okay, let's give this illustration. So I need your undivided attention, okay? So let's say you're gonna have a match next month, and that tournament or that match or that game is the most important game for you to become a professional soccer player, okay? Let's say that, assume. You understand the case? Do you think you'll practice every day to win the tournament and game? Do you think you'll practice? Okay, so pain is something like when you practice to become an athlete. Still remember, athletes need to try really hard every day in order to accomplish that. And in that sense, they go through some sort of pain. It tells him now. But they never ask, why do I suffer? You see what I'm saying? The suffering occurs for me because the desires of my heart is to become a professional soccer player. But at least the practice pain. You see what I'm saying? At least the practice is not, we cannot count that as a suffering to me. You see what I'm saying? At least the definition. That for Michael would be pain. And for me, I will also understand that as a pain. The practice to become the best player. I will never count that as a suffering. And the other, okay, if you're not clear about that distinction yet, the other example will be something like this. Nupite, when women get pregnant, these days they use delivers not namlo. But the thing about natural childbirth, they have gone through pain, right? Natural childbirth did. But the mother never asks that, why do I suffer necessarily? They may ask, but they are not looking for the justification why suffering occurs. Because when the baby got delivered, the pain redeems you. The baby, when the baby was delivered or born, the pain is somehow redeemed. So in that sense, those type of situations like athletes, sports person, they work really hard every day to become one of the best. That could not count as a suffering. And for example, a natural childbirth. I mean, they can eat a medicine without going through a pain necessarily. But they still choose to go through a natural childbirth. They choose it. You see what I'm saying? Suffering is not the things that we really choose it. You tell Nakayandan. Michael, he choose, right? He kind of choose it to play soccer because that's his desire. And in that sense, do I choose to break my right leg? No, right? So in that sense, natural childbirth pain. Even though there's a medicine to reduce the pain, not to even feel pain, but they still choose to do the childbirth. However, although it's highly painful, when the baby got delivered, the pain is redeemed. You see what I'm saying? In that sense, sometimes the concept is really hard to distinguish, but at least there's a distinguish between pain and suffering. As hung nun again dana. My is physical pains on him. Plus, every day I can practice pain, it's kind of painful. But I never ask a justification to God. God, why do I go through suffering or a pain? But the justification, I need the justification later on when I fails to achieve the desires of my heart. You see what I'm saying? In that sense, we can distinguish between at least pain and suffering. Are we clear? It tells him that at least thus far. Any question? The distinction. It's kind of fishy, okay? Sometimes it can overlap, but at least we understand, right? Natal siya muna at least the distinction between pain. Hitingadong again, see? An athlete or any sports person striving to achieve excellence goes through a number of trials. Some even that lead to agony to become the best player in the game. Natural childbirth by women who voluntarily, remember this word, okay? Voluntarily choose pain by refusing anesthetic in childbirth. Pain, you can reduce it, right? This one. What is this? What is this?
Makes you numb.
Less numb, right? So, tuwadante he says low up, they voluntarily choose pain. You see what I'm saying? Now, okay. If that's the case, okay, I'll read this one. Again, to answer the question raised in the preceding section, a counter question should ask, what exactly is about suffering that requires justification? Siya mo na again dan ka question. What exactly is the suffering that requires justification? Why do some suffering require justification from the perspective of Christian and as we worship God? What exactly bang takpite that need justification? You see what I'm saying? And what is bad about evil and why does suffering need justification? These are the questions one must ponder as they begin to understand the nature of suffering. In pondering, okay, TV now, please look at the TV. In pondering, one must notice that not all suffering require justification. Is that true? I don't think so. All suffering requires justification. For example, a footballer, here, this one, if you did not follow. A footballer striving to achieve excellence goes through a number of trials, some even that lead to agony to become the best player in the game. In a case like this, we find that suffering has a justification that does not require one question to ask why he have gone through pain. You see what I'm saying? This is to say that the pain that the footballer had gone through does not allow one to feel that this type of suffering requires justification. Given this illustration, it is clear that not all pain can be counted as suffering, because suffering is more fundamental than pain. Again, more significant than pain. Given a mother natural childbirth, although she has gone through pain and agony, she never asks for justification and she bears the pain. The reason is that through the birth of child, there is a redemption of pain for the love seeing the child. Therefore, in that sense then, the question still remains, what sort of suffering require justification if not all pain is counted as suffering that needs justification? Okay, tuwatan hinsin. Okay, now let's come to the real problem now. As a Christian, okay, can we read this together, everyone? Okay, Simki na take siyam from the beginning. Is God
willing to prevent evil but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able but not willing? Then he is not willing. Is he both able and
good.
willing? Then whence comes
Are
Is he neither able nor willing? Then why call him God?
okay, natil siya mo na mo. This is one of the Greek philosopher, Epicurus. He says that, is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? It's really a hard question, right? Is God willing to prevent evil? Okay, do you think God has the power to abolish evil? So he's raising a question. If it's God willing, so the willing part is not the power yet here, but at least the good part. He's raising the good part. Is God willing to prevent evil, not able? Then he's not omnipotent. I mean, for sure, he have the power to just exterminate. Is that true? Then he's not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Is he able? Do you think so? Given the omnipotent, is he able? but not willing. That then he is malevolent. That means he's not all good. He's not benevolent. The meaning of malevolent is all bad. Bad. Is he both able and willing? Then whence comes evil? Is he neither able or nor willing? Then why call him God? That's hard, right? Friends, the problem of suffering is one of the greatest tasks, and this is the problem of evil. Is because of the problem of evil, many atheists did not come to God or believe in Christianity or anything to do religious because of the problem of evil. It's really hard to solve. Okay, so what exactly is he raising? He's questioning the nature. God is all omni-good, power, and all-knowing. He's asking this. He's attacking all this thing. He's attacking all the omni attributes that God have. You see? Now, Sam Harris. Have you heard Sam Harris? Sam Harris is one of the 4 horsemen atheists right now. He's pretty brilliant. He also asked this same question. Can we all read together?
If God exists, he can do nothing to stop justice, calamities, and things he does not create. God, therefore, is neither animal nor evil. There is another possibility of force, and it is the most reasonable and least audacious. The unbiblical God is a fiction like Zeus, and the thousands of other dead gods whom most sane beings now ignore.
Okay. I will put in a premise form in order for you to understand, okay, what exactly these people are talking about in a very easiest way. What exactly they are saying is this. God is what? If God is all powerful, he can stop evil. Number 2, what happened? Evil exists. And what's therefore? God does not exist. Do you think they raise a valid question?
Yeah.
Do you think they raise a valid question? God. By the way, the premise 1 and 2 is I just put in one premise, okay? A premise is something like it's a fundamental set of proposition. So, okay, what's the premise 1? If God is all powerful, he can stop evil. If God is good, he would want to stop evil. Why? Because he's all powerful, he can stop it. And he's all good. He will be willing to stop it. But evil still exists in the world. Therefore, God doesn't exist. That's what Sam Harris and Epicurus is saying, actually. That's what they are raising. Okay, everybody, we're trying to be atheists? Not really. But we'll walk together, you know? We dare ask questions, all these things. Friends, the good news is this. Every years, every centuries, every millennium, different religion or every one of us attack Christianity. But the truth stand firm every time. And the Bible stand alone, even though there is a various attack every now and then from different argument. You see what I'm saying? Now, okay, let's discuss the premise one by one. Before that, by the way, this guy is Bart Ehrman. Okay, Bart Ehrman. He's a New Testament scholar. He's a New Testament scholar, but he left the faith because of the problem of evil. Jesus story but he left the faith. You know what he said? I left. Okay, Sing, you read this. I left the faith.
I left the faith for what I took it to be and still take to be an unrelated reason, the problem of suffering in the world.
Okay, what exactly is he talking about? He said that I left the faith, which means Christian faith, because of the problem of suffering in the world. There are many people who left the faith because of the problem of suffering. And as claimed by Sam Harris, if God is all powerful, he can stop evil. If God is good, he would want to stop evil. However, evil still exists. You see what I'm saying? Evil still exists. Therefore, God doesn't exist. Okay, hila mo ngayon wala doon. Just think that premise 1 and 2 is the same with premise 1 here. I just put things together. Bless you. Okay. Please raise your hand if you believe that God is all powerful. Okay, hands down. Please raise your hand if you think God is all loving. Okay, please raise your hand if you believe that God is all knowing. All knowing, He knows everything. Okay, hands down. That's exactly what they complain. If God is all good, if God is all powerful, if God is all knowing, where the heck evils come from? You see what I'm saying? That's their complaint. That's the reason why we call the problem of suffering, or the problem of pain, or the problem of evil. Given the first premise and the second premise, it's kind of mystery, because the debate about the problem of suffering, the literature it's a lot. One of the biggest literature that talk on any particular topic is on the problem of suffering. People discuss here and there a lot. You see what I'm saying? As I say earlier on, this morning, I'm not trying to attempt to give an answer, but at least what worldview give the best answer regarding to the problem of suffering. Now, Sam Harris and all these people are atheists. Okay, remember this. They're atheists, okay? They claim that if God is all good, what exactly say? If God is all powerful, He can stop evil. That's what he posted. If God is all powerful, He can stop evil. God is all good, He would want to stop evil. Evil exists. Now, this argument is against Christianity. Okay? He tried to put against Christianity. But this argument is against Christianity. But have you ever imagined what the atheist argument has said? That they build an argument for the justification of evil. Every person who dare walk on this earth will confront suffering or pain or evil, whether we like it or not, whether we think about it or not. And every religion, including atheistic religion, or including everyone, okay, just everyone, Muslim, Hindu, Jainism, animism, even our Zhou culture, because we confront evil. Everybody need to what? Give at least the justification for why evil exists in this world. Now, this argument is what? Against Christianity. Now remember this. You gotta understand please look at this way. You gotta remember this. Philip, this way. Okay, you gotta remember this. Okay, I'm repeating myself this. This argument is what? Against Christianity. Have you ever seen an argument from atheists that this is my argument, not against argument, but their arguments for why evil exists? Does that argument gives hope? You see what I'm saying? These arguments are arguments against God, against Christianity by Sam Harris or Epicurus. But I rather pose another questions to them and to you to think that, do they have an argument, not a negative argument? This is a negative argument, right? Negative in a sense, against. But what about, because evil exists even for atheists, even for Buddhists, what argument do they come out to justify why evil exists? Natil na kagiandan. They are not escape either. Natil siya na kagiandan. Kung ma-escape lo suffering to gisaya. So what is the argument that they are providing to give an answer? A Christian tendel. Of course, we know that God is all powerful, God is all loving, God is all knowing. But there is a reason why God allows suffering. Si Pendensang explaining. As we claim God is all powerful and all omniscient, all these things. That's the attack. But I hardly come across atheists give the reason why evil exists. What exactly is their good justification? Their justification will be something like yesterday. You still remember possibilities and necessities and the causal explanation? There exists an what? Elephant, right? Okay, this way. There exists an what? Elephant. Okay, take elephant out and evil. Just put evil. There exists an evil. And if there is evil, it just pop out of Nothing. Therefore, there is no causal explanation for evil exists. That might be an atheistic argument. You see what I'm saying? Now, even for some of the religious people who claim, number one, there exists a what? Evil. There might be a reason why evil exists. Okay, I'm not saying only Christianity, but every religion. Therefore, there exists an evil. I'm not talking about set 1 anymore, I'm talking about set 2. There exists an evil. There is a reason, there might be a reason why evil exists. Right? There must be something that caused evil to exist. Therefore, evil seems to have a cause of its existence. Right? Now the question is that who caused the evil? That's the tricky and the hard part. Okay? But at this point, do you follow me that by definition of evil, the atheistic did not really ground their argument for the existence of evil. They rather have an argument for against the existence of evil. They don't have an argument for the existence of evil. They don't have an argument for why evil exists. You see what I'm saying? Okay, remember this word. For to against. Bakit na? Sangpi, you wanna say? When people say I'm arguing for this, what does that mean?
Or something.
That means they are defending, right? And then I'm arguing against it's isang bang. Attack. You see what I'm saying? What Sam Harris and all these people, which one are they doing? This one. Okay, this is the one. And that's a valid thing. They gotta do that. But have you ever encountered what the argument for the existence of God? As I say, remember friends, everybody encounter evil. Whether you're atheist or not. War happened in Russia, war happened in Israel, war happened in India, Myanmar and elsewhere. Anyone need to at least give a justification why evil exists in this world. And my question that I will pose to them is that what is their justification for the existence of evil? Not just against. Itel na. Now after, no, okay, hey, no, come on, loading. Please. Okay, now our job is this. As they attack against us, against Christianity, what's our job? What's our task for Christian? We need to provide a rational and at least a justification to the atheists who are against the existence of God. Now we will need to provide what? For. We will not give against their argument necessarily, but at least we should need to give a reason for the existence of God in spite of evil. Are you guys with me now? Okay. Okay, okay, let's read. Philip, ready? Okay, somebody read this one. Philip, nang simala.
My argument against God was that the universe seemed to...
I gotta read this first.
Oh, yes.
Loudly.
My argument against God was that the universe seemed so cruel and unjust. But how had I gotten this unjust and unjust? A man does not call a line crooked unless he has some idea of a straight line. Was I comparing this universe with when I call it unjust?
Okay, so C.S. Lewis, he's not a Christian by that time when he wrote this. He was once atheist. I mean, he's a Christian by this time, but he's talking about his previous life before he encountered Christianity. He's pretty much an atheist because of the suffering and all this unjust thing. He's saying that, remember this word again, okay? My arguments against God was that the universe seemed so what? And? Okay, remember cruel and unjust at this point now. What does that mean? That is suffering and evil, right? Now, bangaman again. My argument against God is because of suffering. That's exactly what he's saying. But he himself asked this question. This is the punchline now. You gotta really understand. But how? Siyang pinangsimula.
How had I gotten this of just and unjust?
You see what I'm saying? Or before I come to Christianity, my complaint is against Christianity. where the universe was so unjust, so cruel. But he even think that where do I even got the ideas of just and unjust? It's something like, remember, there exists an elephant. The elephant pop out of nothing. Therefore, the elephant just doesn't have a causal explanation. There's two sets that I give you yesterday, right? He think, as he asked the question, he think about set number 2. Rather, he think about set number 2. Okay? He think that, dang, although I complain against God about cruelty and unjust, he think to himself that where do I even got about the idea of judge and unjust? Where do judge and unjust come from? He tells him again that if there is no God, there is no just and unjust. That's what basically he's saying. He tells him again that I don't even understand where do I got. There is something good. There is something bad. You see what I'm saying? I don't know where do I even got it. So he's an atheist by the time, but he's saying that. Okay, let's see. Louder.
A man does not call a line crooked unless he has some idea of a straight line.
Do you understand the meaning? What exactly is he saying? What do you think? We could not call something a crooked line unless we understand there's a straight line. You see what I'm saying? At this point, he did not say that God exists yet, because he is arguing against God. But he's just thinking, contemplating in himself that where do I even got the idea of crooked line unless I have the idea of straight line? He tells him again, where do I got the idea of unjust or just if God doesn't exist? So, Chung Kai, read the last part. What
was I comparing this universe with when I called it unjust?
Okay. Michael, right? You please read this again, this part.
What was I comparing this universe with when I called it unjust?
Okay, do you understand what he's saying? Okay, do you really understand what C.S. Lewis is saying? Friends, by the way, you gotta read all C.S. Lewis book. Nassim, the Chronicle of Narnia. We gotta watch Chronicle of Narnia sometime. You know, it's one of the best movies. The greatest movie is this, Lord of the Rings. The greatest movie of all time. If you watch Lord of the Rings, you understand the problem of evil really well. Lord of the Rings, now please. Lord of the Rings, you gotta watch Lord of the Rings. Huh? Man, I watched Lord of the Rings more than 50 times now. 50 times. Dang, you guys say dang. I mean, you guys always play video game, man. It's pretty much the same thing, you know? Okay, so Lord of the Rings enlights and you understand how crooked is the earth, but also at the same time understand the nature and character, the nature of evil, but also you understand the nature of hope as well. Oh man, my favorite part, I mean, I'm not gonna, I'll say it. You see, remember Sam and, what's the other guy? Dang, I forgot. Sam and Frodo. Do you see, remember the scene where they try to throw the rings? Dang, this guy. You are smart, I know. Okay, so I'll explain that. The scene is that they gotta throw the ring in the fire of lake or something like that. And then they lose hope now by the time. But finally Sam just stood up and so there's a kind of dark in the sky. But finally all the clouds, in some part a cloud pen only openness in some little part. The cloud is open and they see a stars there. And what's the word that he used there? Do you see, remember? You know what he said? Philip, come here. You know what he said? So let's say this is Frodo, handsome Frodo. I'm Sam, I'm helping Frodo. So they don't have energy anymore. Frodo and Sam did not have energy anymore. But they self-motivate themselves. And as Sam watched the cloud, there's areas where the clouds has been clear, and only tiny part, and they see stars there. And he said to Frodo, hey Frodo, look up the sky. There is a light. Okay, look up the sky, man. You know, hey Frodo, Look up the sky. Okay, you need to listen to the words. The sentence is powerful. Look up the sky. There's a light up there that no shadow could comprehend. How amazing is that?
The sky.
Look up the sky that no shadow could comprehend. That's Christianity, by the way. By the way, I should talk that one later before justification. But that's the part that I really like about Lord of the Rings. What exactly is he saying that John Khong asim lesson the Gospel John Khong lesson. In him was life, and that life was the life of man. See that tema? I mean, siya sang Pinas nan katana Lord of the Rings. Nangan katana? How many times?
One time.
Oh man, only one. You will not understand only one time, honestly. You see, remember, you were the guy, the old guy. I forgot the old guy now. You shall not pass. As in underground. That's the hope there. He act like Jesus there, you know. Okay. Now put this on ending. Okay, you gotta watch Lord of the Rings, and you gotta watch what? Chronicles of Narnia. Okay, 10 minutes break. Sorry, let's go. 11:40.
Finally putting.
That is 3 hours.